Hello, everyone. Today I just wanted to ramble on about an odd thought I've been having about why isn't expository value one of the things that is weighed when we're considering fair use. Now, what I mean by this is many times there will be a video here on YouTube where other people will respond to it or take a portion of that video and talk about it, and then that video will go down. It will be removed by the original uploader, or it will be flagged down. Either way, another user comes along, and after having snatched a copy of it for himself, re-uploads it. And this could be a user that has content on their channel, or a user that just mirrors other people's videos. And this is actually both allowed in the terms of service and disallowed in the terms of service, depending on which subsection you're reading in the YouTube terms of service. So, what I want to know is, we have certain criteria for what is fair use, right? And it seems to me that a lot of people get confused as to what is the minimum level of editing or commentary that you need to put into to make something fair use, as far as you re-uploading it, as far as U.S. copyright law or the YouTube terms of service. Because let's take, for instance, the one time I have ever launched a DMCA on anyone. Okay? That was a person named Verum Serum. It was a website, in fact, that had a group of guys that all thought themselves to be hipster philosophers that were against the Occupy movement. And I had uploaded a video that was very long, showing the entire context of a speech from Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper that was interrupted with a mic check from Occupy Colorado Springs. And what Verum Serum did was they clipped out 3 minutes of my video, and then they topped and tailed it with their own logo, making it look like they were the owners of my video. And I decided that that was not enough to qualify for fair use, because they were hosting the video on their website. There were other ways to get people to that certain part of the mic check, because they didn't do it until a little on in his speech. So you could just use the timestamp URL to get people to that portion of the video if you wanted to hurry up your readers on your blog to that point and not have them have to sit through the first 10 minutes of a governor's speech. Instead, they decided to take my video, chop it up, put their logo on it, and re-upload it. So I launched a DMCA because I didn't feel like that was fair use. And my original video was still up that they could point to, and they could give a timestamp to, and give a link with a timestamp that, takes people right to it. But they didn't. But many times, the original video will go down, and people will mirror. And a recent event that happened was Sargon of Akkad brought to everyone's attention that Steve Shives was in a video with his wife on his channel, and he had interesting facial expressions with regards what his wife was saying, and he decided to commentary on that. Steve Shives took his video down, and Woolly Bumblebee put up a mirror of it. Now, she top and tailed it with very minimal edits for commentary, but it was basically his whole video. Now, if this were taken to court based solely on the fact that she top and tailed it, there's a chance that she might lose, because take for instance rappers who sample other recording artists. If they were to sample the entire song, that would be not fair use, but if they sample just a little bit and make it transformative, then they can get away with it. And in this case, it really wasn't transformative. It was just a re-upload with very little context added to it. Now, you couldn't say download off of the Pirate Bay the latest Star Wars movie and then add a minute of commentary to the beginning, like, I really loved this, and this was put out by George Lucas and Disney, and then upload it, and then expect to not get a DMCA takedown. But there are other ways for people to see it. They can go to the theater, you know. The original is still out there in the form that it was put out there. In this case of Steve Shives, the video was down. Okay, he tried to pull it from the internet because he, as a public persona, decided that part of the conversation needed to be erased from history. The history that we make on social media. And so, my question is, why do we not take into consideration also the expository value of something? Because when Sargon of Akkad's video stayed up there with portions of Steve Shives' video talking to his wife and him commenting on it, the original context was not there. The unadulterated context was not there. And without Steve Shives leaving his video up, the unadulterated context to find out what was really going on was lost. What Woolly Bumblebee did was add that context back to the social media sphere that we're in. And these are fairly popular people here on YouTube. And I believe that there is something missing, especially in the way that laws are codified and the terms of service is codified, where we need to take into account expository value of things. I've had these thoughts for years, spanning way back to a feud between Aldous Valor and Fitchiful Thinking, where Fitchiful Thinking decided to use YouTubicide. And every time someone YouTubicides, or gets flagged down, I like to make note of it, because a part of our social media history here that we're making, with all of us lay philosophers arguing back and forth, it goes missing. When EvoGen Videos decided to YouTubicide, that was largely due to, a big drama with someone else, but there was a very valuable back and forth between him and Libertarian Realist 2 that many people will remember as a very good exchange that was very educational, and it's gone. Poof. Vanished. There are many things that get re-uploaded here on YouTube that the original uploader took down because they just don't want it on their channel anymore. You could look at the history of Venom Fang X in a series that the Peach did, called A Boy Named Sean. You could see that there was a YouTuber named AgentOfDoubt who probably made the best atheist coming to that realization series ever. And if you just Google Loving Doubt, you'll see that other people re-uploaded it, even though she YouTubicided. There are things that are of value just in and of themselves that people try to keep alive, and that expository value is not considered at all when we consider fair use. And maybe we should.